Hey, what's up? This is Travis Barker. I'm doing a free drum lesson, courtesy of Bose for Music Gives Back. And my charity of choice is Lost But Not Forgotten. It's for little Chris, my assistant who passed away. It's his mom's charity. It helps families dealing with loss and just families in general. So I'm really stoked to give back and include that charity. So love you, Linda. Love you, little Chris. I guess I'm going to start with just really a lot of basics. I usually hold my hands, hold my sticks match grip, like this, versus traditional grip. I hold traditional grip when I'm doing marching stuff. But that's a whole other entire lesson. So I will just start off with some warm-up routines that I like to do. I'll start with 8 on a hand. I'm at 120 BPM. I think that's probably a good tempo. Where I'll basically do 8 on a hand, 8 on a hand, then 16, 8 on a hand, 8 on a hand, 16. So it's like this. Now a little bit faster, and that's kind of the goal with these things is if you started drumming today and you write down the BPM, okay, I started the first week going 120 BPM. The idea is to increase it, every time you practice and build up speed. Not that speed's the only important thing, but it's definitely a good quality to have if you're gonna be playing drums. Here's 130 BPM. Okay, so I'll go up another 10 or 20 BPMs. I feel like this is a good exercise because it helps build up speed. And as long as you're doing full strokes, kind of gets you ready for shows like when I play with Blink. If I was just kind of using smaller, shorter stick height, I might not be as warm as I need to be in a situation like Blink or Transplants or even the live I just did with Post for Nirvana, because it is a lot of arms and a lot of full body motion, so I kind of like to get full strokes out of it. Here it is at 150 BPM. Go up to 170. Get up to, I think I usually get up to around 200 by the time I play a show. So at 190 now. 200. So as it gets fast, you never want to have like your whole arm moving, or you'll see people get really stiff and start doing this. It's more of a combination of your wrists and your fingers doing it. If you don't include your fingers, you're going to get really tired really fast, and I think you'll kind of max out as far as speed. But 200 is usually where you know, probably like a great tempo for medium fast for blink stuff. I think we get up to like 220, 230 for songs like party songs. The next thing I'd like to show you guys is paradiddles. If you don't know them, I love them. There's like single paradiddles, double paradiddles, triple paradiddles, inverted paradiddles, and honestly, you know, it's not just something you warm up on a practice pad. You can put it around the kit and use it everywhere. But for those who don't know, okay, I'm back. Sorry, you guys. All right. So a paradiddle is right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. This can be used around the kit. You know, like the first note of each paradiddle, the right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Can be on cymbals or toms. But kind of the same thing. I usually start at, you know, just pick a tempo. I'll start at like 175. No, you guys are gonna hate me if I start that fast. We'll start at 165. So it's right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Fast, like double time it is. A little faster. We're gonna go up to like 190. Let's go to 205. So I'm also a big fan of starting things with the opposite hand that you usually lead with. So I guess like my whole goal in drumming is making my right hand and left hand even. So in a perfect world, any of these rudiments, I also like starting just with my left. And I feel like just doing more rudiments with your left will help you lead with it with, you know, I don't know, you might see some drummers where they only hit crashes with their right hand, or they can only play like this when they could play open hand, or lead with, you know, fills with your left hand. And I just think the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get. And for me, as far as practicing, it's kind of like working out. Like a lot of people will go to the gym and just do stuff they're really comfortable with. I think with practicing, you have to really lean in on what you're not comfortable with, so you are comfortable on the kit with it. So a lot of the times when I'm practicing, and I'm not necessarily practicing for a show or something, my goal is to kind of make myself uncomfortable and then try to deal with it. So Another version of a paradiddle is an inverted paradiddle that I like. Instead of right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, it's right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left. So that just a little faster is right, left. Right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left. So sometimes I'll like to go from regular paradiddles into that inverted paradiddle. So I'll play a paradiddle on each hand regular, and then I'll do inverted. So right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left. A little faster. A little bit faster. All right. Another thing I like to do is just go from singles, just basic your basic right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, into something that's just called doubles. You know, you use it for stuff like double stroke rolls. Some people do this, a buzz roll, but for keeping your doubles clean and your singles clean, I like to do a kind of a warm-up routine that I made up where you just go from singles to doubles, singles, doubles. And then maybe when you're done with your right hand, you end with a paradiddle, and then start with your left. So it's left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. So paradiddles are awesome because when you put them at the end of exercises or warm-up routines, it automatically ends you back on your right hand, your opposite hand. So once again, kind of giving both hands a workout. So you can kind of put the paradiddle at the end of the exercise whenever you feel like changing to the left hand, starting with the left hand. So really, really slow. Set like 150 BPM. So I'm gonna do like singles into doubles. I'll put a paradiddle at the very end of it, just so I can then start with my left hand. So it's paradiddle. A little slower, I realized I started kind of fast. Right, left, 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 right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, 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 left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Okay, now maybe I can like speed it up, show you it sounds kind of cool. We'll do like 165. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little faster, or like 180. 1, 2, 3, 4. go 200. 1, 2, 3, 4. So like that's a good variation to get back and forth from starting with your right hand to your left. But as you're getting comfortable with it, I would say just hit singles into doubles, singles into doubles, singles into doubles without stopping. So fast at this tempo would be with the goal being not being able to tell too much. It can't be too drastic between the doubles and the singles. And then starting with your left. Is there any questions going right now? Like maybe I'll hit some questions while I'm right here at the practice pad if you guys want to answer them, ask them. So right now I'm just kind of doing singles, doubles, into paradiddles. That's another variation that could be kind of cool for your hands. So I'll hit like singles first, doubles second, and then paradiddles. And then that same kind of repetition over again. 1, 2, 3, 4.
There's a question here.
Okay.
Could you show viewers some stick twirl tricks?
Oh yeah, stick twirl tricks. Okay. So.
Hold on, I think it paused.
Okay. Stick twirl tricks. Well, first, playing is the most important thing, and being solid, and especially if you're in a band, because you have to, they're really depending on you to keep time. So your most important job for being a drummer is keeping time, and being. I like the drummer to be thought of as like the backbone of the band. So, they're kind of playing off of you. You shouldn't speed up. You shouldn't slow down. In a perfect world, you don't drop your stick, especially trying to do something flashy. I feel like that's like secondary. It's almost like a fighter, like learn how to fight real good, and then you can put flashy kicks and flashy spinning elbows or whatever else. Like, I guess get the basics down first. But once you have those down, I think like the first twirl I learned when I was like just growing up and starting to play drums was just this in between, your first two fingers, your index finger and your middle finger. And it's kind of like you put your stick in between these two and you get this motion. And it's a little awkward at first, but it gets more comfortable as you do it more. I mean, you could be, a lot of the times I'll just watch TV and I'll have sticks in my hand. And just sit there twirling your stick. Or I've even been caught doing it driving in the car. Where the person next to me is like, what is he doing? But I'm actually just getting better at twirling my stick. So it becomes second nature, and I can just throw it in live shows wherever I want without, it being uncomfortable and being like, oh, hold on, I need to, get ready to twirl my stick. Another thing is like you'll see people cheat. Instead of playing match grip like this, as they're about to spin the stick, they'll wrap these two fingers over the stick, which isn't that uncomfortable. You can still play. But, you'll be able to, if you have it already like that. There's also some people that spin this way, and then some people that spin this way. So it's just, I guess, how you feel more comfortable. And also, going back to the very first exercise we started with 8 on a hand, once you get the spinning and the twirling ready, you could do 8 on a hand, and while this hand isn't doing 8 on a hand, this hand is twirling. While this hand isn't doing 8 on a hand, this one's twirling. You could be...
When do you play traditional grip?
Okay, so I grew up playing traditional grip. Someone asked this question. A lot of jazz musicians played traditional grip. A lot of cool drummers like Stuart Copeland played traditional grip. He was like one of my major influences when I was, growing up. And it's basically this style. I also played like this in marching band. I think in junior high we were match grip. I think my second year of high school we switched to traditional. And I kind of got a taste of traditional and marching in high school. I played for 2 years. And then I really, really, really got into it a few years back when I started working with Ralph Nader and Harvey Thompson. And yeah, I mean, it's really cool for marching. I don't think you're going to really be able to do any marching videos or anything cool like this. I think there's a lot more options like this. You can do cool spinning, thumb spins, high mom. And it's just really fun. It's another way of playing the drums, and I think it just helps, create and develop your style. Not to say you can't play drum set like this. Some people can, and if you do and you master it, you look really cool. And I don't know, it's really fun. But I think I've played drum kit for so long, match grip, it just makes sense. But I'm sure any of you guys that follow my Instagram or my YouTube, you see me do a lot of videos of marching stuff, and I play traditional.
A few people are asking, what kind of drumsticks do you use, and are they similar to marching sticks?
Okay, here, will you grab me one of those?
Yeah.
So these are my sticks that I designed with Zildjian. They look like marching sticks because they're white. I think most sticks are wood color. I loved marching, and it had such an impact on me, and the competitiveness and the chops involved and the discipline in marching was something I really, really loved, and I never let go of. And I think when it came time to design my sticks, I was really inspired by my years of marching. So these are my sticks right here. These are Zildjian, just my signature sticks. It's my favorite stick ever. I tried playing like smaller sticks at one time. I tried playing lighter sticks. These are my sticks, and I love them. I couldn't play anything else, and Zildjian makes great sticks, great cymbals. It's all I've played since I was a kid.
Any wrist wrist exercises or stretching that helps you before playing or practicing?
Okay, so someone's asking about stretches or like wrist exercises before playing. So once again, going back to like marching, this was a really popular one. You basically hold the sticks like this in your hand. You'll grab this wrist. You put them both like that. And it kind of like stretches your forearms. And you hold it there for as long as you need to. And then I think I went with my left first, so now I'll go with my right first. Same thing. And then I think with some of, I meet a lot of drummers on tour, and they say like, oh, I keep, tightening up or whatever. Just a good shakeout will kind of help too. I don't know, anyone that's probably been to our shows, I might even do it on some days. Like, you can't really determine why it happens, but maybe you're just a little stiffer. It might be your workout you had earlier in the day, or you slept wrong, who knows. But I feel like shaking it out like that, either with the sticks or just with the hands, can help a lot. Also just conditioning, like conditioning yourself, working out, like not to be buff or whatever. But for me, like working out is such a big important part of the drums, because Between what I just showed you on here and practicing enough and having your chops where you want them and being in great physical shape, like battle ropes or something I love to do. So when you are on stage or when you are playing with your band, any ideas that come to you and things you want to try, you're able to. And you're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to get too tired, or my hands aren't fast enough, or I'm not used to starting with my left hand. Just getting rid of all the kind of situations that might make whatever you're trying to come up with in your head harder. The idea is like to be able to think of something and execute. So yeah, like, having being in great shape and just exercising and having your stamina and your hands ready to go. Leading up to shows and tours, I play at least a few hours a day, just so I am ready when I get on stage. Another twirl I love to do that's really easy to do is just keeping your hands in traditional match grip and just flaring the stick. Really slow, it's that. And once again, you could also do it backwards. I think it looks cooler frontwards. I do this one a lot. If you don't have time to get to this right here, you can get to this. And you can also do it, you can spin it as long as you want like this. But so this can be used too when you go to hit cymbals. That pattern, which I do a lot, is just 2 on each hand, and you do your spin while this one is not doing doubles. While this hand's not doing doubles, you do your flare. So you just practice going from like a slower tempo, to a quicker tempo.
When and how long do you practice every day?
So leading up to tours and shows, I'll practice. Like for example, for the Post show I just played a couple weeks ago, it was like Nirvana tribute. I found out a few days before that we were actually going to do it. So I literally listened to the 17 songs I was going to perform and practiced like 5 hours a day. I went through the set over and over and over again. For me, for shows, I want to go into a show and not stressing out. I want to be extremely confident. So once I get there and once I play the show, I'm just having fun. I'm not really thinking about, oh, do I know this part? Do I know, when this bridge comes in or how this song starts? It just has to be muscle memory to where I can go out there and have fun. But I feel like you have to really spend your time, half of the time being like practicing and learning chops and stuff, and then the other part of the time being a drummer is being creative, because at the end of the day, I remember growing up I'd be like, oh, I wonder if there's new drum fills I could learn, but really it's all in here. It's all about being creative and figuring out, for this song, this kind of fill makes sense, and maybe the fill doesn't exist, but that's your job to make it up. And I've realized over the years, my job isn't to be the fastest drummer in the world or the most flashy drummer in the world or the best drummer in the world. It's to be able to be creative and write creative parts and be a little bit of everything. Be flashy enough to, have fun and keep people's attention, because no one likes, or at least I don't like watching a drummer that's not fun to watch. And then writing great drum parts is the most important thing, especially if you're going to be in a band and you're not going to just be playing cover songs. Like being creative, figuring out what your style is and who you are. And my style is a mesh of marching, funk drumming, metal drumming, punk drumming, even listening to like program, beats that I make like in rap songs. It's just a combination of everything. So I think it's a little bit of everything. Practice being creative, practice having chops and being solid, practice your timing. Timing's got to be the most important thing as a drummer. Practice with a metronome right here. If you're gonna play drums, this is your best friend. When you go to record an album or a song or play live, chances are you're gonna play with one of these. So you should be really, really comfortable and be great at playing with the metronome. Just, make it your best friend. So I guess now I'll go and I'll show you some of the things that I had talked about on the practice pad on the drum kit. One more exercise before we move to the drum kit is going to be the 6-stroke roll, which is right, left, left, right, right, left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's why they call it a 6-stroke roll. There's 6 strokes in this rudiment. Right, left, left, right, right, left. Or it could be left, right, right, left, left, right. Right, left, left, right, right, left. Left, right, right, left, left, right. So you can do a pattern where you just create this, it's kind of like a roll effect where you just repeat going one way, and we'll pick the right, left, left, right, right, left. So what I'll do is I'm just going to start it right back over again. Right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left. So if you notice the accents, when I get over to the drum kit, I'm going to put those accents on toms, I'm going to put them on crash cymbals. You're going to kind of see how like some of these rudiments that seem, I don't know, they never seem boring to me. I always love just figuring them out on a practice pad, but applying them to a kit is the most fun, because I know when I was a kid, the last thing I wanted to do was just stay on a practice pad, but a lot of these rudiments have a really cool place on the drum kit too. So I'm going to move over to the drum kit now, kind of show you some stuff on there. Shut those. My neighbors are gonna kill me. So, you guys are all good? Alright, just getting set up, moving from practice pad to kit. So this is a kit that happens to just be at my house. It's an old Ludwig kit. I play Orange County Drum Percussion Drums, which is a custom drum company. And I play those drums because sometimes I want weird sized toms or a weird sized kick. Sometimes we even make drums just based after like an old jazz kit like this, an old Ludwig kit, but this just happens to be the kit that's at my house. I grew up playing Ludwig. These are older Zildjians, just Avitas Zildjians, like the old school ones with the old logos. Some of my favorite. But this is the kit I used during quarantine. I filmed a lot of videos on this. I filmed the James Corden episode and the Paramore cover that Kels and I did. I've done everything on this kit, so this is my home kit. It doesn't really leave. But I'm going to start with the paradiddles. That was one of the first rudiments I showed you guys today, and that's the right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. So you can easily put that between the hi-hat and the snare drum, and it becomes a beat. I'll just put the kick on. I'm gonna put it on 1 and 3, and it just kind of shows you applying the rudiments to the drum kit, paradiddle. So right, left, right, right, left, left. That was paradiddle the first time I was just playing it at halftime. The second time it was the same exact thing. I was just adding a kick to the 1 and the 3. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It could also be counted 1, 2, 1, 2, 4. So it could be, if you count it the other way, it would just be on 1. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Paradiddle, paradiddle, but like coming out of that little groove, I just applied the paradiddle to the toms and stuff. So you could also, instead of just doing it between hi-hat and snare, you could apply it where I'll put the first accents of the paradiddle on the toms or the cymbals. So right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left. Really slow. Right, left, right, right, left, left. And then when I go to use the cymbals, I'll put a kick with that same hand, because if I go to the ride cymbal without it, it'll be kind of versus. So between the toms and the cymbals, and then once again when I'm going to a crash, when I'm going to a ride, I'm also accompanying it with a kick. So. So those are paradiddles around the kit. I do add some stuff to my snare. I know I see a lot of you guys asking, why do I have this rag, this kitchen rag on my snare? Honestly, it's because it's a little loud in my house and it stops it from ringing a lot. But I also use these big fat snare drum dampeners. I use these on my kit that I record with. Makes the toms kind of feel like, I don't know, like Phil Collins vibes, like really deep versus this is actually for a 12-inch drum, and I have a 13-inch drum here, so you might see it fly off. But and honestly, it keeps it a little quieter and keeps it muddy. I like my practice and rehearsing conditions to be a little grimy and uncomfortable, and I don't know, make me work harder versus, I don't know, it being easier and playing on something that's easy to play. Sometimes I'll even put really big crashes up and really big hi-hats, and then go to my actual kit that I'm going to be touring with, and it'll be a little bit smaller, and I just think it helps develop your speed. One more thing I'll go through, because I guess they're telling me I got to wrap it up soon, is also the 6-stroke roll in the kit is one of my favorite things. I use it in a lot of songs, and that's that rudiment that was right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, and the same thing. You'll just put it over and over again, so it's a rolling effect. So you just keep starting over. And I'll put the first accents on the toms and on the cymbals. So really slow, it's right, left, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right. And same thing when I go to crashes. Always accompanied with a bass drum. So I'll go really, really slow into a quicker tempo that shows you how cool it can be in a playing situation or even a soloing situation. This is definitely one of my go-tos if I'm doing a solo. So really slow, 6-stroke roll, right, left, left, right, right, left. Or if you're left-handed, left, right, right, left, left, right. So that's the 6-stroke. Do we have time to take any questions from the drum kit if you guys want one? And then I'll wrap it up. Another thing to do on your kit is singles between your hands and your feet. I play single bass. I love single bass. I love single bass drummers. So something I like to do is just singles between the hands and the feet. Just. Another great one I'd like to leave with you.
Any cool drum fills between hands and feet?
Well, okay. Funny, he just said any cool drum fills between hands and feet. Yeah, there's a lot of cool drum fills between hands and feet. A classic one, like Barry Bonham, is 2 hands, 1 feet, 2 hands, 1 feet. Or you could also do, mix it up to where, you figure out if you're playing in just, 8 or 4 or whatever, and there's only 4 beats per measure, figure out how you can subdivide your hands and your feet within that measure. So it could be which is basically 2 hands, 1 feet. And like for me, like patterns like that, because I write with my left hand, but I lead with my right a lot. So stuff like this, I'm happily confused where I may lead the fill with my left hand. Or I might go. Because I've kind of gotten used to leading with either one. So that's a good one. Once again, 2 hands, 1 kick. 3 hands, 1 foot. Like this is starting with right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, and then just stick a kick in between it. Cool, well, I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. This was so fun. I could honestly go on for hours, and they're stopping me. So, thanks again for watching. Shout out to Bose. I love all your products. I've been using them since I was old enough to listen to music, which is awesome. And thank you for the generous donation for Music Gives Back. Keep drumming.